guys? Charles from Champions and Game Time coming at you with Shane's Kozmo deck profile. We've been testing this deck and he thinks he's going to take it to our next locals. So let's just go ahead and get into it.
How's it going, guys? I've been working on this deck since I was way back when. I loved the deck when it first came out, but it was way too expensive for me. Any of you who remember? So we're going to start with monsters today. Now, you got to run the 3 tin can, especially if I'm going to go with a pseudo tin can turbo version. I love this card. Ever since it's come out, he's been a really great staple in the deck. Tin can is just one of the best cards. He fills your graveyard for graveyard revival. He's just a really good card. Super important. The only card that's really still kind of expensive. Then we got the double Strawman. Strawman's really good for bringing back your ships from the banished zone. And once they die, they actually pop, and then you get to use their effects to special summon. So he's actually a very good card, especially when you just need a big beat stick. And you need follow-up plays for the next turn. He's awesome. Play 2 of him, though. He can brick. There's been a few situations where I've drawn into him, and I didn't really want to. I run 2 Farm Girl. I'd almost like to put her to 3 because I love this card. The OTK potential is still good. It's not as good since they got rid of the 3 Dark Destroyer, but it's still really good. But 2 of her specifically because I run another tech choice that I've been testing, and I seem to like it. But yeah. Then you got two Kozmo Sword Trooper. Really good revival off of Tin Can if you send any psychics. He makes it so that you can basically get whatever pilot you wanted if you ever went to use Tin Can. Or if they like kaiju'd your pilot, you can revive him with that, with him. Then moving on to the 4s. I personally love running Good Witch. Not a lot of people like her, but I feel like putting a monster face down is really good. She's just a really good out to certain cards. And then the Wicked Witch is just an amazing card to sit on if you're playing somebody like Blue Eyes or something that just depends on a big monster that pops. So like Draco's is another good one. But they can chain to you using her effects, so you gotta really work towards not letting them do that. Dark Lady. 1 Dark Lady. She's a great card. She stops monster effects, which is really important. Unfortunately, she's got a pretty high cost, and you can only use her once per turn. So I only run her at 1 because she can brick as far as pilots go. Moving on to the ships, I've got the 3 Slip Rider. You gotta run 3 of this. I specifically think you have to at least. It's great removal, and the 5s make for great XCs plays. Especially if you want to play like an artifact version, which I really plan on doing. Alright, so you gotta run the double Forerunner. He's a good card, he's a big card, and he helps you regenerate your life, which is really important in the deck. You can't really keep going with your plays because everything costs for your pilots. Then moving on from that guy, you've got double Eclipser. Eclipser is not the best choice, floats to hand instead of field. I think they had decided they had to do that because if you could, you'd be floating into Dark Destroyer a lot. But he's still a good card to substitute for the other 2 Dark Destroyers because he's still a 3000 beat stick. And stopping traps isn't the worst thing in the world. Wish they'd switched the spell negation with with him and the Dark Planet. I wish it was opposite. I wish he'd negated spells. It'd be much more viable.
This guy can negate that evenly match.
Yeah, that's one thing. As long as you got him on there, you don't have to worry about evenly matched. Kozmo Dark Destroyer. Not much to say. It's Dark Destroyer. You run it 1 because you have to. And then that's all for the Kozmo cards. Then I'm not playing very many hand traps. I'd like to play more, but right now all I can fit in is the double Ghost Ogre Snow Rabbit. That's all for monsters. In total there's 20 monsters, which is a really large count, but it's kind of worth it. You get to see your monsters, your biggest bulk of your deck is your monsters. So moving on from that, standard Kozmo Town, best card, best field, started the trend of 2 good field spells. Still one of the best ones in my opinion. Double terraforming because you want to see Kozmo Town as soon as possible. I'd like to bump it up to 3 as soon as I find the space. Dark Hole. It not only wipes out your opponent's cards, but it also activates your ships. E-Telly. It's at 1, but it's still a great card to get out any of your low-level pilots. Effects included. Just a really great card. Reasoning. You play a lot of different levels. If they're smart, they'll call level 1 to stop your tin can, but otherwise, if they call any other levels, they don't have a very good chance. Rivals. I'm really testing this card. It's been fun and interesting so far. It's really good with Kozmo Farm Girl. It's kind of like how you used to E-Telly, except you have to have her in hand. So basically, it's more like my E-Telly. And then Triple Pot of Desires. It's really controversial to be running Triple Pot of the Desires in this deck, but I really do like the draw power. I don't see myself banishing everything as often, and since Dark Destroyer's at 1, his infinite float thing's not very good, so it's okay to banish him sometimes. So I think the draw power is more worth it. That's the rest of the deck, the spells. Moving on to traps, I only play 4 traps. And then that is 2 Cosmojo, 2 back to the front. I'd like to play 3 of this. I'm still trying to grab one, but currently the build's not too bad. I want to play the virus version, so this is going to change eventually, but I have to get a whole bunch of stuff for that. So tune in for that. We probably will upload it once it's done. So that's it for the traps. Now for the extra deck, I got 1 Synchro, Ancient Fairy Dragon. It's great. You can synchro with a 4 and a Ghost Ogre if you need. You won't be doing it very often, but just in case, it's there. Just in case you can, it's there. Number 9, Dyson Sphere. If you have 2 Eclipsers on field and you need to get around something, really good card. Ptolemy on 7, just because you run Pallades. Pallades, you can use your Slip Riders. Really good card. I run the Utopia engine, or the Utopia combo. Got to run that Lightning. This gets over too much stuff. I have run a lot of rank 4s despite only running 2 4s, but if you need a rank 4, you can get to it pretty easily, and a lot of these are just situational. So Babushka.
Best rank 4 right now.
Gotta keep him. Gotta have him. Abyss Dweller for any of those annoying cards. Like, you don't want those spells and traps resolving in Dracos. You don't want those anything else resolving in Grave because it's usually too strong. Tornado Dragon for the pops. Hades because if you have some extra 3s, you can make it and make Pallades. Or Ptolemy, my bad. Ptolemy. And he's also, his switch to defense is pretty fun. Number 47, Nightmare Shark. Just get around monsters. Attack your opponent directly. Break Sword, great card. Princess Sprite, spells, get to your spells. And Akashic Magician. If you have anything that's troublesome, like, I don't know, if you're running up against a Chaos Max player or something, you can bounce him. Pretty good card. I like it. It's a good link, in my opinion. Well, that's it for the deck profile, guys. I hope you enjoyed it a lot more than you did the Last Jedi. Like and subscribe. See you next time.